Welcome, everyone. My name is Ann O'Shea, and I am your FlexMLS trainer today. And today we're going to look at searching and working with contacts. But first, we have a few housekeeping items to address. Let me get rid of, there we go. So we're using GoToWebinar, and if you have any trouble with GoToWebinar, you can come up here to the upper part of the GoToWebinar pane and click on Help. If you have any audio issues, double check your speakers, or you can always switch to phone call for audio because sometimes the internet's busy and it can mess up your computer audio. So you can use the phone call, and that will give you a phone number to call in and your personal PIN. And then, of course, if you can hear me but cannot see my screen, please restart GoToWebinar, and hopefully that will solve the problem. If you have to leave because of a bad connection or you have an appointment or a client walks in, don't worry. This webinar is being recorded and we're going to send you the link. It'll probably be on Monday, being that this is Friday. And in any case, today we have Amy on the line, another trainer here at FBS, and she's going to be answering questions for you. So just go into the questions pane of GoToWebinar and type in your questions there, and she'll be able to help you. Okay. So let's begin. So one of the first things I want to say is that really FlexMLS has a lot of great features and a lot of customization available to you. And I may reference something today, but I'm not going to go into the customization. We do have a great webinar on customization. Just you can go up here into Help and go to Video Training and just search for videos with the word custom up here, and you'll find things. Lots of great video information there. But let's begin with searching. So up here in the upper left, we have FlexMLS, and no matter where you are in the system, you can click on this and you'll come back here to your dashboard. And in this case, I borrowed Amy's training account, so this is actually Amy's dashboard. But I'm going to look at, oops, there we go. Lots of helpful stuff. I'm going to click on Menu, and in here under Search, you'll see that actually you have a number of searches here, but we're going to use Quick Search. And Quick Search may be quick, but it's also your most powerful search. And if you notice, it has a gold star here because it is here up in my favorites bar. And if I wanted to add something, I just hover to the left of the word and a little star comes here. I can click it and it'll add it to my favorites bar, or I can deselect the star and it'll remove it from my favorites bar. But if you don't want to add it to your favorites, you can just click things here, whatever works best for you. So let's click on Quick Search. So we're going to look at searching two different ways. And the first way, we're just going to do a pretty basic search. I am going to add a field, and I'll show you how to print it or email it to a client. So I'm going to close this right here for right now. And in the upper left is 1-residential, and that means I'm searching for residential properties, and this little chevron allows me to look at other property types. And if you were going to say someone wants to invest and they don't know what they're looking for, you can always do a multi-property search. So you can search for land and residential and commercial all at the same time. But today we'll just stick with residential. And here on the left are all the search parameters that your MLS has chosen to have right here on the top level for you. But everything that you input in the MLS is searchable. So to do that, you would just add a field here in the green plus sign at the bottom of the list. And of course, if you find that you don't want certain things here on this top level. You can remove them by just clicking the X. And of course, you can save a custom version of this for yourself, which you can find in that customizations webinar that I mentioned. But today we're going to look for residential, active, and we'll go price. I'm going to click on that and I'll just start typing in 1 million max. I like that the 3 zeros are thrown in there for you. You don't have to type them all in here. And property subtype, I'm going to click on that. And in this case, I'm going to search for a condo and a townhouse. So I'm going to hold down my control button. So I clicked on condo and I'm going to hold down my control button and click on townhouse. So now I've clicked 2 separate things. And you can also just deselect something. But that's a handy thing, the control button to pick and choose out of a list. For you Apple users, it would be the command button. And we'll scroll down here and we're going to pick city. And I'm just going to start typing in a city and it starts popping up and I just select it here. City of Palm Springs. And let's do 2 or more bedrooms. And because I don't have a max, I just leave that blank. And total baths, I'm going to say 2 to 3 because they don't want to clean more than 3 bathrooms when they clean their house. So we're having a limit on that one. And let's see what we have. So this gives us 141 results. Well, that's still a lot. So let's continue down here and narrow the field a bit. And maybe these clients absolutely have to have granite counters. So I go down here to the green plus sign here, and I'm going to type in the word granite. I just start typing it in, and we're in the add a field box here. You can see granite counters appears, and I just click on that. And it adds it to my search parameters. So if, say, I change my mind and I don't want to use this, I can just deselect this. But I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to close this box. So now my 100 and something listings are down to 25. That's a good number. I want to point out, though, not only can I add granite countertops, I can also click not granite counters. So basically everything that does not have granite countertops will be in my search results. So if your client absolutely does not want to see granite anywhere, this will help you out. But in this case, we'll keep granite in there. And it could be and or when you have just one feature here. And let's take a peek at the results. So over here is the map, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the map tools in a little bit, which are down here in the center. But we're going to come up here, and this is where you kind of take a peek at or review your search results. So I'm going to go to the list tab, and you can go to any of these. I'm just going to go to the list this time. And I'm finding that this font's a little big for me. I did not forget my glasses today, so I can make this font a little smaller here on the list tab by just clicking next to this number. So that's the font size. So you can make it bigger or smaller. And in this case, I'm in the normal view and I want to switch to the one-line view, just for a quick overview. So here are all the listings where you can kind of scan for things, maybe square feet. But in this case, I'm going to sort by price. And you can sort by one column by just clicking on the top of the column. And in this case, I'll sort descending. I want to have the biggest number at the top. And maybe I want to take a peek at those with the thumbnail. And maybe if my client is looking over my shoulder, I can go to the detail tab here. And I can, the detail tab has lots of great things, one of which is the report. Your MLS defaults to the detail report, and you can choose public. So if your client is looking over your shoulder, this will hide the listing agent information. It'll hide those private agent remarks about, that has gate codes and things in it. And it'll just show the public information. And if you were to print this out for them, it will have your business card, your photo, and your contact information here at the bottom. So, but in this case, let's say that they're not looking over our shoulder and we're just going to keep it to the private. And we can take a peek at all this information. There's so much here on the detail tab. You can look at the history, see if this listing has past listings in the MLS. Yes, this one does, a number through 2013. You can also look at different reports. Your MLS has several report choices for you. I'm going to stick to the detail report, but you do have choices here. And you have your tax products. You have a neighborhood profile property map. This is a calculator. And you have RPR, zip forms, and Cloud CMA right here at your fingertips. So the detail tab is very handy. And you can click around. You don't have to go in order. And you can say, you know what, I'm going to look at this house, their photos. And you can scroll through them. You can make them bigger using this here in the bottom left of the photos for this listing and go through them that way. I'm going to close that with the little X at the top right. And you can just skip around too. You don't have to do anything in order. Now, if this listing had a video tour, it would show up here in the upper right. So the Photos tab will have the photos and video tours right here, but this one doesn't happen to. Let's see if any of these others do, just by chance. Oops. Nope, not finding many. There's one. Here's one that has a virtual tour uploaded. So you have pictures and then you have a virtual tour that's available to you. So what else do we have up here? So we saw the list and the detail, which has tons of detail, your photos and your map tab. Let's take a peek at the map tab. Now, what if my client says, you know what, I don't want to be within a mile of the airport? Well, we can do that. We're going to use our map tools down here. But before I show you the map tools, I want to show you a couple basic things on the map here. You can scooch around the map using these arrows. You can zoom in using this plus and minus, or just dragging this bar. Or you can use your mouse. If it has a wheel on it, you can just use that to zoom in, and you can click and drag the map. All good things. Also, we use Google Maps, which you can see down here in the bottom left, and you can see the satellite view, because in some parts of the world, this would be handy. You want to see how close you are to certain features on land. But in this case, I find it too busy, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back to map. Now, your MLS also has a number of overlays. You have a zip code overlay, and if I click on that, you'll see you have a number of, this overlay shows you the zip code parameters, and here's like everything in this one, and these all fall into the 92262. These all fall into, where's the center? 92264. So one of those overlays, I'm going to deselect it by just going back and clicking on it again. You also have MLS areas, subdivisions, and these can be very handy when you're trying to locate exactly where you're listing, which MLS area is your listing in that you're entering. You can use those. But let's get back to our client who does not want to be within a mile of the airport. So in that case, I'm going to click on the circle. And I'm just going to click right here in the center of the airport symbol there, and I'm going to drag until I see 1 mile. Oh, actually, it looks like nobody's in the 1 mile mark, 1.03 miles. And if I wanted to make that bigger, I can by clicking on the circle. Come on, there we go. And click Edit. And I can edit the shape. And I can take this little handle here this orange or peach handle and drag it a little bigger if I like, maybe 1.5 miles. Let's see, I'm getting close there, 1.51 miles. I'll stop, and the bottom right, I'm going to leave edit shape mode. And now I have 2 listings in the circle. But in this case, my client doesn't want to be in the circle of 1.5 miles. So I can come back over here and you'll see that the circle was added as a search parameter. So I'm going to go and click on the word within, because I can make this the intersection of 2 different shapes on the map, which you can do. You can have multiple shapes. It doesn't even have to be 2. It could be more. You could have maybe a circle around one person's job and a circle around the other person's job, and find the intersection of where they could both be within 5 miles of work, something like that. But in this case, we don't want to be in the circle. So I'm going to click it again to not within. And now instead of my 25 or whatever it was, 20, I think it was 25, now I have only 23 that are outside the circle. So we can again take a peek at the list and look around. But in this case, this is a search my client likes. And so we're going to print it. Up here are the action buttons. I can share, email, save, print, or run a CMA. And there's more here. 3 dots always means more. I was recently told this is called a kebab. Who knew? You have your report violation, jump to listing, export, search details. But in this case, I'm going to print. And that actually takes me to this print or email window. And just start at the top and go down. So I can I can print just the current listing, or I can print all the results. And if I forgot which current listing I had highlighted, I could just click to return to search results. And whichever one was highlighted in yellow, that's the one that would be the current listing. But in this case, I'm just going to do all results and version public for my client. And you can just do a list, or you can do detail, and I can do this detail report. And maybe for my client, might want to choose the 5-photo flyer instead. Whatever you want, you have a lot of options here. But I'll stick to the detail report because this client does want all the details. And you can choose to include history, tax info, docs, open houses, all of this information. Photos. If you were printing, you may not want to print all the photos for your listings. You may just want the primary photo. In this case, since I'm printing, I'm not going to. It's still going to give me the little thumbnail on the report. And the map. Some people like to do this, print separate map for each listing, which can get costly with paper. Or this one, which is a combined map for all listings, which most people prefer. And let's take a preview of this. There's the map. And each of the listings has a number. And this tells you who's who. And then you go down, and this would be the detail page. There's the primary photo and all the details on that listing. And because it's public version, it won't include the listing agent information or the private agent remarks, and it will include your business card at the bottom for each page. And this is the next page, and we have one of these for each one of those listings. Now, maybe you don't want to print this out. You'll just email it to them. So you can click email right here just as easily. And let's do that. Let's click email. Now I can email this page. I can add a new contact. I can enter a current contact that I have. Maybe I'll send it to Adam. And I can choose to, if he wants, I can add his work email in here or something that's not already in my system. I could have a copy sent to me. Most agents don't do this, but some do. It's totally your preference. And you can get notified the first time the recipient views this page, which a lot of agents do like, because then you know that they're actually not only being sent the email, but they're actually opening the email. And a lot of people like to use the FlexMLS system because then we can track things for you. But if not, you want to use your Gmail or something, you just click here and you can use that. And then you can get a link if you want to share it elsewhere. There are templates that you can create. And in this case, I'm going to use a previously made template called listings. And it's just some wording here that's already loaded and I can put in front of there. I'll just edit this. Just this one email. Hi, Adam. Here are the newest listings. Let me know what you think. And below here will be a link to these listings so that they can see them. And at the bottom, of course, will be your business card. Now, as to the templates, I want to point out up here, there's this options button. And that's where you can, if I wanted to save this so that, because I send Adam a lot of emails, I can save this as a new listings for Adam. Or I could just leave it at listings and just add my client's name, whichever I'm using. It's up to you, whatever you like. But in this case, I'll just click send the page. Now I can return to search results, send another email, go back and edit the email. But that's basically a basic search with a little bit of extra. We added in granite counters. Let's start a new search. And with this search, I'm going to include a new client, a brand new client. I'm going to not only email them the listings that we find for them, I'm also going to sign them up for a subscription and send them an invitation to the portal. Let me explain what these are in our system. Let's see, how best. The search results are effectively picking up Time magazine while you're in line at the grocery store. You have the magazine in your hands, that's search results. The subscription is when you take the postcard from inside Time magazine, you fill it out and you mail it in. So the subscription is going to be for future Time magazines. It does not include the Time magazine you're holding right now. So you would always want to send the current listing list in addition to signing someone up for subscription, because they will not get the current list that you just looked up for them. Now the portal is like sending an email to your client, inviting them to sign up for a login to timemagazine.com, where they can take a peek at the magazine whenever they wish from our app for home buyers or from their computer. So those are your three things: your email, your subscription, and your portal. So let's begin a new search. We're going to keep to one residential here and active. And in this case, I'm going to choose up to 1.5 million. Just type 1,500 in and it adds those three there for me. Property subtype will be single family. So I just have to click once, and let's do down here, we're going to go to City of Palm Springs. And I just type in Palm and I get the list. So I'm going to click on Palm Springs and I'm going to click total bedrooms, a minimum of 3, total baths, a minimum of 3. And it's looking for them. And here we are. We have 66 results. So what can we do with this? Oops, I zoomed out accidentally with my mouse. We're going to take a peek at the list. As it loads, there it is. And again, I have some things here I can do on the list. I showed you these two, where you can look at the one line versus this version, the normal view. You have font choices, and you can actually sort here as well. You can even, something I didn't show you last time, you can make these columns more narrow if you like. It's up to you. And this view is your MLS's default view for residential, but you can customize views and then choose them, have them in the list and choose them, and it will save that for you so that you can, maybe you don't want to know lot size or year built every time. You want to see other information like fireplaces or something. You could do that. So that's a nice thing that is available to you also. So let's sign up. This is 49 results. So let's go back actually to the map. And I'm going to this time use this tool, the polygon tool. And we're going to go in and pick, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to pick the area that my client is interested in looking. And you can go in as many dots. Every corner I go into, I'm clicking. So I'm going to, oops, keep hitting that roller bar on my mouse. Here we go. And I'm just going to click, 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 and then I get to the very end, what to do. It just keeps sticking with me, so I double click. But don't cross from where you started. Get close, but don't cross. And I'm going to double click. And now I'm just going to look for listings that are in this particular area. And I'm not going to exclude it. And I have now 12 results. And this is the area that my client is interested in looking. So now we have our 12 results, and let's take another peek. And what if maybe in those 12 results, my client doesn't like certain features? Maybe they don't like the look of this one. Maybe I've shown them the photos. Maybe we don't want to include this one. Maybe they want something more, I don't know, more busier in the front, whatever it may be. So now I've deselected 3 of the 12. And they're up here now, that I now have 9 selected in this list. And I can deselect all of them at once using this. But in this case, I'm going to keep these 9. So what to do? This time, we're going to save this search up here for a client. And we're going to, it's a new search. I can even mark it as a favorite if it's a search I tend to do a lot. But in this case, I'm just going to say Palm Springs, and I'm going to say single family. It's not quite the same as this. I'm just copying and pasting the title in. So I can 3-bedroom, 3-bath, under 1.5 million. And contact. So you can add more description here, but I'm skipping over that because I don't really need to add anything. Do be aware that the search name can be sometimes seen by your clients, so you want to be careful not to say anything you wouldn't want to say in front of your client on the search results or as a search title. Contact would be, in this case, new. And the contact's name is, I'm just going to go with the classic Luke Skywalker. And the contact's email is this. I just cut and paste it from elsewhere I had it. And it's asking me if I want to create a portal account for this prospect. Yes. And do I want to invite this customer to the portal? Absolutely, yes. And at the bottom of this save search window, so that's a little shortcut. You can set up the portal at the same time. You don't have to, but you can. And I'll show you where you can do that elsewhere in case you didn't do it for some clients that you want to now add them on. But in this case, I've got the search for my new client, Luke Skywalker, I'm inviting him to the portal, and I also want to set him up for that subscription where he gets future updates to this list of results, these 9 homes and this search. So I'm going to save and add subscription. Now, if you didn't want a subscription, I can just save it. But in this case, I'm going to do that as well. And it's saving. And there we go. Now this is our add subscription window, and I'm going to make it a little bigger because there's a lot of steps here and I want to make sure that you see them all. So add subscription. Here's the name, and it just puts subscription in front of whatever your search name is, and you can change that, but I'll just leave it. Send notifications of new listings in these email updates. Do I want to get every single one? That's entirely up to you. A lot of agents don't. They get enough email as it is, but that's up to you. Of course, you want your selected contact, who is right here, Luke Skywalker, and I can even add a new contact right here. A lot of agents like this one as before. Send me an email when a contact clicks the link. Yes, I'll take that. And here's another one, enable preview mode. And there's a little question mark that gives you a bit of information. It allows you to approve the listings before they're emailed to clients. So this would be for that white glove client, the very high maintenance client that perhaps will not be caught dead in buying a pink stucco house. They only want peach or whatever colors, and pink stucco can't be omitted from your search results in the MLS because nobody inputs the color of the stucco in the listing. So that would be you being the last level of filter so that they don't get something sent to them that may aggravate them. You want to keep your client happy. So you would enable preview mode, look at all the houses in advance and decline the ones that have pink stucco. And how you do that is you would typically get an email or you can see in the contact information what's out there for you to still approve. Do beware though on this, that if you go on vacation to Tahiti for 2 weeks and you do not check your email, your client will not get any subscription updates because you have not approved anything to go to them. So you are the last stop before it goes to your client. And unless you approve them, it'll just sit there and it will not go to them. So just so you're aware, but it's appropriate for some clients, but we're not going to enable that. Luke Skywalker is not that high maintenance. So let's move on. Schedule. Subscriptions. You have once a day and you can choose which days. Maybe they don't want to get them except on, I'll clear the days, and maybe he only wants to get them Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now any updates to these listings in this list or new homes that fit the search parameters of this search we set up, they will all get sent Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that means anything that wasn't sent or happened after Saturday when this email went out, during all these other days, he will get all that information on Thursday. So Thursday he'll get more than Friday typically. But it, of course, depends on the activity in the MLS. Here's another option you have for those that are just kind of keeping their finger in the pot and want to kind of know what's going on, but aren't necessarily actively looking for anything. You can send them once a month. I've been told by some agents that a lot of times this is their clients that are purchasing land. They just want an update on what's out there about once a month. And you can even choose which day of the month it is, based on when they get their lottery check or whatever it may be. ASAP, this is very popular. ASAP means that they're going to get an email the moment a new listing that fits their search parameters hits the MLS. And the moment means basically within 15 minutes. It also means, of course, they're going to get updates on price drops or status changes. If something goes pending, they will get that information. And it'll be ASAP. So if your search results or your search parameters are too broad, and you're, say, just looking for all single family homes with 2 bathrooms or more in Palm Springs. Well, that would be a lot of listings, and you're going to get a lot of listings coming up all the time that would fit that parameter. And that would mean that they would get a lot of emails all times of day and night with the latest whenever something went in the MLS. So you want to be careful. You don't want it to do too broad of a search and give them the ASAP, because then you're going to end up giving them a lot of emails in one day. They may not like that. They might, but that's between you. And you can always edit this. So if they're saying I'm getting too many emails, you can always back it up to weekly and get 1 a day, whatever days they like. That works too. But because subscriptions can come in any day, any time of day, you want this email that you're sending to be very generic. You don't want to say Happy Thanksgiving. You don't want to say it was nice meeting you this morning. You just want to say, you know, I think I have a template that I made, subscriptions. Yep. And I just put listing search updates. Hi, here are the updates to that search we set up. Please let me know if you're interested in anything. Very generic, doesn't reference good morning, good evening, Happy Thanksgiving. Pretty generic. And we'll just click save, the bottom right. So that was our subscription. So we've now sent in that postcard for the Time magazine, but we haven't bought the Time magazine in our hands, which is these search results. So this is where you would email these listings now. If you had printed it out for your client or had previously emailed this to them and then they asked for the subscription later, then you may not do that and you would just say do not send listings. But in this case, we're going to email these listings now. And it's giving me these options: the current listing, the selected, which is what I want to send, or I can change my mind and send all results. It's whatever we like. Also tax info, documents, I'm not going to send them the termite report just yet. Open houses, no, I don't think I'll tell them about that either. I'm going to let them know myself individually so I can set up a time to meet with them. And here's the email. And again, you can add a new contact, send your copy to yourself, notify me when they click on it. And I'm going to use this, just my listings template. And I can say in here, because this is a one-time email with just that Time magazine that we found in the rack at the market. This is a one-time email, so I can say, hi, Mark. It was nice meeting you. Here are the newest listings, or here are the listings. I'll take that word out. Let me know what you think. And there will be a link in the email and then the card at the bottom. And here I can view the listings that are going out to him. Though I can see them here, I can still look at the listings and I can send the email. So I have shown you 2 different searches. One is just a basic printer email, and one is we're sending it off and setting up a subscription and setting up a portal. So let's see if my fake client account has received those emails. Here we go. So when you first have a client, if you sign them up for all 3 things, if you send them an email, you send them a subscription invitation, and you send them an invitation to set up their portal, they're going to get 3 emails from you from the get-go. They have to be separate. So you can always warn your client if you're signing them up for all of this at once. One thing you do need to know is, so here's the listing email. Hi, Mark, it was nice meeting you. And click to view listings is right here. They just click in, they can see those. Here's new listing updates. And Flex MLS Trainer 2 is me, the fake agent. So of course this would be your name. And I would click on that. And they need to click this that says, yes, please send me these future listings for the subscription. If they don't accept this and click on this, then nothing will be sent to them because our system cannot spam anybody. So they have to accept those. And then here's the portal. This is your agent has invited you to sign up. And there's a little bit of information about the portal. There's a short video that explains how to use it. And then it explains that they can get an app, which will be great for them to use it on the go. And they sign up here. Let's see if it'll let me do it. It was not cooperating this morning. No, it wasn't cooperating. That's just me because I've been doing it. See, I tried another fake agent client. So my apologies. Let's see if I can get that picture up. Where'd it go? Nope, can't find it. But anyway, it's just basically a window pops up. Their username is their email, and they just have to set a password, and now they have an account to get in and take a peek at the listings there. So how can you track what's going on with your clients? Well, I'm going to come back to FlexMLS. And we have two things, contact management and contact summary. I'm going to show you contact management first because you're going to do most of your work there. And these are favorites here I added. They, of course, are in here under contacts. Contact management is right at the top. Contact summary is farther down, and both of them are my favorites. So I'm going to click on contact management. And here are all my contacts. Now, here's a previous contact, Mark Watney, and I can see that he's had activity. And this blue bar being full just means he has the most activity out of all these clients. It doesn't mean necessarily he has a certain amount of activity. He's just the most active of these. And here, down here is Luke Skywalker that I just added. I turned on his portal. And let's look at Luke real quick. So here's his contact card. And I can click here, contact details. I can update things. I can see that he's pending because I didn't click on that here. He didn't click on this. So let's see if I click this, see if it comes through quickly. It's pretty quick. It'll change or just active right here once it kicks in. And if for some reason he says he never got the email, you can send in an opt-in request right here. And here's where you can see email activity that I sent him one manual email right here. I can edit the contact. And what's nice about this is, say Luke has his cousin that he is also shopping for houses with or investment properties or whatever. You can add the cousin here, their email, or maybe the work email, and have it all under one account, or you can have separate and make them into a group. But the nice thing about this is if you do add a second email, say Luke at work, I can choose whether or not this email also gets the subscriptions. It doesn't by default. You would have to check this box. But in this case, I'm just going to delete that second email. And you can add, of course, all this great contact information. And there's also this little button down here. You can add other information, children, marital status, anniversary, assistant name, that kind of thing. And this reverse prospecting, basically, if I were to check this, that means any agent that has a house that fits my client's search parameters would be notified to contact me, the agent. They're not notified to contact the client. They're notified to contact me so that they can say, hey, I have a house and one of your clients has a search that fits it. Would you like to set up a viewing or something? But I'm not going to do that because I don't want any agents thinking this is a real search. And I didn't make any changes, so I'm going to click cancel. As you saw, the activity Luke's brand new. There's no activity. I can look at any listings he's viewed, shared with friends, and emails sent. Right now is just the one manual email I sent with the listings. Searches and subscriptions. Here I can see the search I saved, linked to him, and I can see there's a subscription set up. And I can delete that subscription right here. I can even add a new search from here. And if this didn't have a search, a subscription, I can add the subscription to this search right here. Portal, I can see that it's turned on. And we did send the invitation, but sometimes it takes a moment for it to catch up in the contact. It would be caught up by tonight that it was sent. Now, if you have, I'll show you another contact card like Mark. You can see there's some activity here with emails and things. Here's where listings to approve. If you're going to use that preview mode, it'll tell you here that they're listings. So you don't have to dig through your email for them. Activity, he was very busy yesterday. Viewed 2 listings, gives me the addresses and I can click straight through to those listings. Shared listings, he shared this particular listing with someone. We don't know who, we don't have their contact information, but we know that he shared that particular listing with someone. And then more information about the email activity. On the portal, oh no, it was the subscriptions. Here we go. On subscriptions, we have actually 2 searches saved to this client. This one does not have a subscription. He just wanted the search results. This one, he wanted the regular updates, and so there's a subscription. So it depends on which search you're looking at that is indicating. And let me close this. I want to show you Princess Leia on her portal. No, where is it? Sorry. There are a lot of clients, a lot of fake clients here. Adam. There we go. Adam's account, you can see the portal's on. He saved some listings. I didn't recommend any as his agent. He hid some listings that he didn't care for in his portal, and I even hid one that I knew he wouldn't be interested in, and I can do that on his behalf. And here's where you can see it's been set up. His portal's been set up and in use, and you can reset it. If he says, I forgot my password, can you help me get back in my portal? You would just reset that, and it sends him a new email to look at. Here's where you can get in and take a peek at your version of your client's portal. So let's take a peek at the news feed. And it's your information up here always. They're not going to see the listing agent information for anything. Here's the results for this news feed. These are 10 listings he saved. 5 he hid that he didn't care for. I can take a peek at those and see why. Of course, now all these have closed and expired, but you get the gist. And here's one that I hid as an agent where I knew he wouldn't be interested. So you can take a peek this way, and I can see his search here from within his. And your clients can search for things from within their portal. But unless you have an upgraded IDX version, which some agents do, it is not required. Your clients cannot save their searches. But what's nice is if you go back into your contact, I can see their most recent unsaved search right here. So if Adam's search parameters went up to $1 million, but he's actually searching for up to 1.3 million, I will know that if that's his most recent unsaved search. So then you can, know maybe you have a little wiggle room in the price range. You can suggest things. And here's that recommended button that I'm going to show you real quick in quick search, how you recommend a listing to a client. Just look at any random listing. And you can see, okay, this is a listing. 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 This And say I want to recommend, well, $45, I'd recommend that. But say I want to recommend this home to my client. There's this fabulous little suitcase. It's kind of like a suitcase, and I can click on that, and maybe I'm going to recommend this to Mark Watney. I'm going to click on that client and click OK. And now that listing will show up in his portal. So we're at 50 minutes, and I've pretty much covered everything. I did not, because of time, I did not go into what your client sees from their side, because I find that can be confusing when you're first looking at all this. I like to just show you the agent side. But I do recommend, well, two things. One, Josh did a great webinar, and it's available in the help menu up here again, video training, and you can just type in portal in the video trainings, and you'll see a number of different portals. So FlexiMLS portals on any platform, 5 tips for effective portals, preferences, portals 101. Actually, some of these I think Amy did too. I'm sure Amy did some of these. But in any case, there's a lot more information. This was a 3-minute. This is 27 minutes. 5 tips for effective portals here, and you'll see the other side as well. But another thing I always recommend is, as an agent, you can, if you really want to dive in deep to see what your clients are seeing, create a fake client. And don't name it after yourself. Name it after your middle name or your nickname, or give that client your dog's name, and sign them up with your personal email, or get a free Gmail account and set it up. And then you can set them up with maybe your dream homes, the 2 million and up homes, whatever it is, so you can then see it from the client side. But hopefully this was helpful. This is everything I was going to cover today. Let me take a peek and see if there's any outstanding questions. It looks like I don't see any pressing questions, so I think we're good. Again, we will send this recording to you next week. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope this was helpful. Thanks again.